Hello. Today I decided to walk through Rest Haven Cemetery, just to calm and um, visit some family. So join me as I take a little walk through Rest Haven. I have family everywhere here. So walk with me. Here's the first one I'm going to stop at. This is my grandmother on my mom's side. As you can see, she passed in 2006. And my dad's mom and dad are way up there on the hill. So after this, we'll go up there. Some people thinking that just, walking through a cemetery is just very morbid. But I don't know, it's peaceful here, and it's like a resting place for the soul. And I don't think there's anything morbid about it. I mean, it just, it's a good time to remember. And here in Harlan, Kentucky, these are the people who paved the way for all of us who are here now. These people, every single one of them, are what made Harlan what it is in some way, shape, or form. You will have to forgive me for being a little out of breath, because it is really a hike up through here. But this one is my grandmother and grandfather on my dad's side, Dr. Frank and his wife Nora. And if you'll notice, she doesn't have a death date. Nobody ever got around to doing that. So, maybe that's something I'll do pretty soon, is get that death date placed on there. But that's them. That's Dr. Frank and his wife Nora. And they are way up here. That is a beautiful view of the mountains over there and the skyline. They take very good care of this cemetery. And there are so many graves. Okay, so I've hit a little snag in my visiting deceased relatives. I cannot remember where my uncle is buried. It was my mom's older brother. His name was Willard. And honestly, in all honesty, the last time that I visited his grave was with my grandmother before she passed. So I am unsure where it is. I know that it is in this area, just not sure where. And if I remember correctly, it was either a heart shape, because it has the space next to it for his wife, who is still with us, thank God. But I do not remember where his grave is. Well, I could not find my uncle's grave. I have no clue where it's located. I know it's in this area, but I did find Dr. and Mrs. Nunez's grave. Dawn Nunez was a friend of mine, a pillar of the community. I knew her for years and years. We worked together on the Harlan County Humane Society. She was such a loving person and funny. Oh my gosh, she was so funny. And I just happened up on it because of course I didn't go to the funeral, and I hadn't forgotten about her, but I did not know where the grave was. But I did walk up on it. Yeah. She's truly missed. Now, I guess for now, I'm just going to give up on looking for my uncle's grave because I have a lot more to visit, and the daylight is starting to fade a little. And it's up here where the majority of my family on my mother's side is laid to rest. I have a grandfather and grandmother up here, or great-grandfather, great-grandmother. I have great-aunts, great-uncles. All in this area. There's some really old graves. (1915), 1885, 1882, and 1883. And this one, this was Terry Cup and her husband Noonie. I did not know Terry personally because I had just started working at the animal hospital just shortly after she passed, and she had left a wolf. It was a 100% pure wolf, and it was at the animal hospital, and they were taking care of it until her husband could find, some way to keep it. But it let very few people around it. It would growl, it would attack. There were just, I think, four of the workers there that could actually deal with it, handle it. The doctor at the time, the veterinarian. He could not get near it. It was, it acted wild around a lot of people. And I started giving it treats, while it was outside in the kennel, in the run. I started giving it treats, and that went on for a little while. And one day I was in the back when somebody else was cleaning out the runs, and she let Kai was its name, the wolf. She let Kai out, and Kai ran in, got in the cage, and just looked at me, and I was scared to death. But I went over, I closed the door, gave it a treat. Pretty soon after that, I made friends with Kai, and I was so ready to take her home. I loved it. It was beautiful, and I felt very honored that I was one of the very few who could take that wolf out, walk it, and feed it, pet it. That was an amazing thing. So, I have walked a long way since Noonie and Terry's grave. I am going over up here into this older part because I have some friends over here that I would like to visit their grave. And this is also where they say it's the witch's grave and her cult. Honestly, I do not know anything about that. I've heard the rumors and stuff, but you know how rumors get started, how stories get told. But they say that that's over there, and they say a lot of things about Rest Haven Cemetery, like you can hear a baby crying if you're standing up there next to one of the statues, all that stuff. But I really don't believe any of that stuff, because as many times as I've been up here, it feels to me like everything is at rest, everything is peaceful, and I don't think there's anything like that here. Okay, so I start thinking, when I get up this way, that I may have made a mistake, because the first thing that hit my mind when it started getting enclosed like this, a little backwoods, was bears. I think I should have driven up here, but I have already come a long way, so I'm just going to be stupid and not go back. Yeah, I'm going to continue. Okay, we're coming up on what is said to be the witch's grave, which I do not believe it. And they said that there was a coven. I don't think this is a witch's grave, honestly. They say because they call that the upside down crucifix, but I don't think that's what that was meant to be, And plus, it has, a writing about Christ on it. Now up here they say coven because, do you see what that says? Death is only a dream. And if you look at some of the other tombstones around here, they also say death is only a dream, such as that little one right back there, right behind. See, death is only a dream. There are more over this way that also say death is but a dream, or death is only a dream. But yeah, I don't think that that's a witch's grave. As I walk on around through here, if you know the people who were laid to rest back there that they call the witch's grave and her coven, let me know in the comments, because I just don't, again, I don't think that that was a witch's grave. So I was looking down at my phone and I totally almost missed this. This is that I like. I think that is so beautiful. The way the vines are growing up the trees. You know, like I said in my last video, the enchanted forest. Yeah. I feel like I'm standing right in the middle of it. Whew, it's been a long trek, especially this. It was very uphill. So forgive me my breathing. Oh, this is another one that I came to visit, Andromache syringae. This was the grandmother of my absolute bestie in grade school, and she was such a refined, elegant lady. Andromache syringae. So I'm above where I was before, and I think maybe that I could find my uncle's grave this way, because like I said, I think it was two hearts that were together. So right down here are 1, 2, 3, like 4 of those, and this is around the area it is. So I'm gonna try once again to find it. So I'm still looking for my uncle's grave, but I did find this grave, and I'm pretty sure that this is a friend of mine that I had worked with a long time ago, Madge Haynes. And there was her husband, Orban, who had died when I knew her, and she always talked about him. And I'm pretty sure this is her, Madge. So this really does make me feel bad, because I have not came to pay my respects a lot. I mean, well, that I can't find it, you know, just makes me feel like, well, you know, you should have visited, paid your respects more. But, you know, and the other side of my family, my mother's side of the family, they always come out every year, 2-3 times a year or more, and bring flowers and pay their respects. My dad's side of the family, they don't. I mean, it's just, you know, you visit the grave a couple of times after they've passed, and that's it. You always remember them, you know, and you always love them, and you always miss them, but you just don't visit. So I'm kind of torn in that sense, but I cannot find it. I've looked. I guess contacting the maintenance here at Rest Haven would be the way to go to find out exactly where his grave is. maybe reaching out to my aunt, his wife, who, like I said, thank God is still living. Or maybe one of my cousins, you know, his daughters and his son. But, so yeah, now I just have to walk back to where I parked. And that's kind of a long journey. It's on the other side of Rest Haven. Okay, here is an interesting grave. I've been up there before, and that is like glass, like plexiglass on the outside of it. But unlike you would think, there's no coffin in there or anything like that. So this was a little walk through Rest Haven Cemetery in Harlan, Kentucky. And as I said at the beginning of the video, every single person who was laid to rest here has shaped Harlan in some way or fashion, the Harlan, Kentucky that we have today. So it's nice to come up here and pay your respects to all those who've contributed to our county.